Happy day after Thanksgiving, and we're here at the offices. It's, as you can tell, no one is here. And that's because, like some but not all people working, we take the day after Thanksgiving off. And I needed to come in briefly, and as you can see, I'm the only one here. So I thought I would talk to you today about what happens if you get injured off the clock. What happens if you, for some reason, get injured, you haven't clocked in? What are your rights and what are the options? And as always, it depends. It just depends on the circumstances. So, if you are injured on the job and you haven't yet clocked in, or you just clocked out, and you are told by a supervisor or the insurance company that workers' compensation only covers injuries that occur while you're on the clock on the job, that is not necessarily true. Now, it helps, obviously, more often than not, if you get injured on the clock, that is going to be covered. But there are certain circumstances where the law says even if you're not being paid for your time at that moment and you get injured, it can still be covered under workers' compensation. Classic example of this. Classic example is if you are injured coming into work now, again, not you're on the property, or you are, in the parking lot or the designated parking. Oftentimes, that's going to be covered. But if you get into the building, for example, and you're walking to the time clock and you slip and fall, but you haven't yet punched in, that's clearly going to be covered under workers' compensation. So typically what courts do is they kind of look at, are you engaged in an activity that is kind of part and parcel of the work and is an accepted break. So for example, as we've kind of talked about, driving to work is not necessarily covered by workers' compensation. But once you get into the parking lot and you're going into the building, or you're going out of the building to get to your car, absolutely it's going to be covered under workers' compensation. If you happen to show up to work and you're working, but you forgot to clock in, that typically is going to get covered. Where the courts are going to look at, is this a compensable, meaning a injury for which you can get compensation, is, are you engaged in conduct that the employer either expects of you or tolerates, even though it may not necessarily be on the clock. Many years ago, one of my first jobs was working for Pizza Hut, and one of the things they kind of constantly drilled into us was, hey, you've got to clock in. If you're in here and you're working, you've got to clock in, and then if you clock out, you need to be like gone out of the way. And out from the back and on your way. And that makes perfect sense, because what they don't want to have happen is people getting injuries when they're off the clock, and it kind of complicates things. But if you just show up and have not been asked to, in fact, maybe you've even been told not to, and you just start doing things and you get injured there, then the employer can start to argue that for some reason you were not on the job, you were not on the clock, you were doing something that they didn't expect or require, and therefore your injury shouldn't be covered at all. And so that's kind of a brief and simplified answer for your question, but more to the point, coming in today, I just wanted to express our gratitude and thanks not only to all of our clients, both past and present, and frankly future, serving you and serving our populace gives us and our working lives meaning, and we love helping injured workers in Colorado get the benefits that they deserve. And some of the clients that we have are just wonderful, fabulous people, and sometimes we're sad when their cases end because we've enjoyed getting to know them and their families so much. But as always, if you or someone you know has been injured on the job in Colorado, please let them know that there's an attorney and a law firm that helps injured workers. We've been helping injured workers since 1997. This is what we do. It's the only thing what we do, and we'd be happy to talk with you. Our initial consultations are free and they're confidential, and you can reach us at 970-356-9898, extension 101. You can go to our website. You can interact with us on Facebook and Instagram, on Twitter. And as always, we hope that you have a great holiday weekend, that you stay safe, and look forward to talking with you later. Bye.